welcome back to Minecraft Survival Guide. In our last episode, we went down to into a mine shaft and brought back plenty of iron. And today I'm going to be showing you one of the things we can do with that iron. Actually, you know what? Let's go back in here and Alright, here at our crafting table, if you take if you take 9 pieces of iron and spread them out there the whole crafting grid, you're going to get a solid block of iron. You can place that down if you want, but iron's pretty expensive, so we're not going to be using it for that. What we're going to do is make 2 more blocks of iron. And if you take these blocks of iron, put them along the top here, and then make out of iron ingots a little base here, you're going to get an anvil. And this is a very useful item. I'll show you what we can, what we'll be doing with that. But rather than just put it in our house, I think what I want to do is instead make ourselves a little forge, like a smithy kind of, like a medieval forge, yeah. And so I made up some andesite here. It's a decorative block like these two. But if you put 4 of them in this crafting grid, you're going to get polished andesite, which looks a lot nicer. And we're going to be making the base out of that. We'll fill in there's something else, I don't know yet, but we're going to be putting it right here. Just fill in that. We could use stone bricks or stone. Let's just use cobblestone for this part here. Oops. Alright. Actually, before we do that, I'm just gonna put a torch in here so that we don't have monsters spawning inside the wall here. Because, I don't really want to have them constantly making noise while we're trying to build. There we go. Let's just excavate this here. Maybe I'll need a new pickaxe. I should probably put a crafting table in here. Oh well. Yeah, we'll put a crafting table in this smithy. Alright. Over here probably. And we can also make a smithing table. Right now these actually don't have a use other than just looking nice, but the developers of Minecraft have confirmed they're going to add a use for it in the next update. But we're just gonna put one here in our smithy because I think it looks pretty nice. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. There's a good spot for our anvil. Let's take our smooth stone and place it like this. I think that looks pretty good, just around the anvil there. I'll show you what the anvil does in a second, but there's a second item that I want to make first, and that is if we take our smooth stone along the bottom, some iron ingots up top here, and last a furnace, we can make a blast furnace. Now this is a, maybe I should put my anvil over here, my blast furnace here. Nah, I think it looks good. I think this look just fine. Let's take stone bricks. Let's take andesite and put it around here, up like this. Maybe we can make like a smokestack going up through there. Yeah. Now, blast furnace it basically serves the same job as a furnace, but it only works on ores, and it works twice as fast. So very similar to the ooh, let's make a cauldron. So very similar to the smoker, except it's for ore instead of food. Now, cauldron, we don't actually use it for doing anything related to the anvil, but I think it fits in here very nice. Kind of bugs me how the smithing table is a different color than the anvil. You know what, let's make a couple furnaces, a couple regular furnaces. We'll just put them right here next to the blast furnace. And oh, wow. Let's move this over here. And we'll cook up some of this stone. Oh, I didn't bring coal. Actually, I'm just gonna take this coal right here. I didn't even notice that. How convenient. Alright, let's see. Just take this. Put half our cobblestone in there. Take this. Half our cobblestone in there. And if we had any iron ore, we could smelt it here at the blast furnace, but we don't. So, oh well. I'm gonna take this stone and make some stone bricks out of it for the ceiling here. Alright, I'll fill in the top later probably, or maybe just leave it as the stone there. Maybe that looks better. What do you think? Oh, and another item we can make to help us with our little project here. So let's just put this crafting table in the corner over here. Is if we take 3 stone along the bottom here and 1 iron ingot in the middle, we can make ourselves a stone cutter. And where's a good place to put this? Just up here. And the stone cutter lets us change stone into any other form. Like, say I put a piece of cobblestone in here, I can transform it into a slab, stairs, or walls, instead of having to go through the process of crafting them. Like, say, if I take 6 cobblestone here, that gives me 4 stairs, which is you're getting less stairs out than you're putting in, because you're putting in 6 blocks for 4 blocks. But here, I'd put in 4 blocks, I could get 4 blocks back. I'm not gonna make cobblestone stairs. I'm going to make stone brick stairs. Right after because I want to have stairs along the outside here. So just click on the stone, the one you want. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Maybe we can make something out of that. Just or shift click, and just place stairs like this. There we go. I think that looks great. And right here, let's. Oops. Oh, whoops! I placed them wrong. That's my bad. I'm gonna need to extend it out one more. So just stone bricks. There we go. Take the stairs. I sworn I had one extra. Where did I put it? Whatever. I can just put one more here. And oh, here's the last one. There we go. Now we've completed our smithy. Oh, you know, I'm gonna go back and sleep. Alright, I'm back at my smithy. It is morning. There's not a creeper in sight. I hope it doesn't come down off there. But I've also brought, while I was oversleeping, I brought over some other materials that we're going to need to try out our new anvil. And one of those things is... Oh, I'm going to need more iron, aren't I? Okay, be right back again. Okay, that was a little embarrassing, but I'm back now, and one of the things we can make with our with all this iron I've brought over, for this project you're going to need the enchanted books that we found in the mine shaft, some leather, plenty of iron. I made myself a new iron sword too, because this one was on the verge of breaking. You'll notice in the recipes here there's a tripwire hook, and you can make this with some wood, a stick, and an iron ingot. And we can use these for traps, but you also use these for a separate recipe. Specifically, do I not have enough? The crossbow. Oh, okay, we need more. We just need one more stick. And I forgot the string. Okay, I'll be right back again. Okay, back. These enchanted books each contain a specific enchantment, and enchantments are little special effects you can apply to your weapons, tools, armor. So we're going to be doing some enchanting today, and we don't have the ability to enchant things directly. There's another item you can make for that, which we'll get to in another episode. But we do have these enchanted books, and one of the primary purposes of an anvil is to apply an enchanted book to an item. So we take this brand new iron sword and this enchanted book with sweeping edge, the sweeping edge enchantment, just put that there, and we'll get an enchanted magic sword for 4 of these levels that we've been collecting. That's the purpose of these levels, is we use them for anvil, and we also use them for enchanting. And you'll notice we can also name this sword. So if I want the sword to be, say, a dragon fang, it'll name the sword for you. I'll name it Slicer. That's a cool name for a sword. The other enchantment we got, Multi-Shot, is it's a ranged weapon enchantment, but you can't apply it to a bow, because bows and crossbows have separate enchantments, and I'll start getting into the differences between a bow and a crossbow soon. So you just take some iron here, it's a tripwire hook for the loading mechanism, some string and some sticks, and we've got ourselves a crossbow. Now, if we take our bow and we pull it back and we shoot it, that's how bows work. You can draw it back only a little bit and shoot an arrow a little farther and shoot an arrow not as far, but it won't do very much damage. A crossbow works differently. It takes a bit longer to load. You have to pull the arrow all the way back into it like that, and you can't fire it in the middle. But once I load it, it stays loaded. I can switch to other items. I can mine blocks. I can just have that crossbow loaded in my inventory without having to use it. And so if I get, say, ambushed by a monster, I can just whip out my crossbow and shoot it, without having to go through the hassle of pulling it back. I believe it also has a slightly higher base damage than the bow does, though I'm also, if I remember correctly, it also has slightly lower durability. We can get back our arrows fired from those bows unless they hit a monster, in which case they disappear. But if we take our crossbow and put multi-shot on it, just call it Hail of Arrows. That's a cool name. And there we go. And now we're down to level 20. That's 8 levels we've spent so far. But now if I pull this back and I shoot it, that's 3 arrows that it fires. It's pretty awesome. Now, unfortunately, I can't pick up the arrows that it fires to the side, but I can pick up the arrow that it, the one arrow in the middle. So, if we fire this at a monster, we're gonna try and hit it with one of the side arrows, so we can still pick up our arrow. And oh yeah, one of the last things that I wanted to do here is make another armor stand. Let's just put that right here, and we're gonna put our iron armor right back here. Well, actually, we'll do that in the morning, because right now it's almost nighttime, and since we're down to 20 levels and we're gonna want some more, I think we're gonna have some fun tonight, testing out our new enchanted weapons on some monsters. Oh, and one more cool thing you can do that I want to show off before nighttime happens is if you take 8 sticks around here and a piece of leather in the middle, you'll get an item frame. If I just place that right here, I can take this sword. It doesn't have much durability left. It's almost broken. But if I just place it in the item frame, there. Now it's a decoration, and I think it looks pretty good. Oh, and I keep remembering more things. If you take an iron ingot and turn it into 9 iron nuggets, crafting grid, and then you take those iron nuggets, put them all around a torch, you can get a lantern. You can't put lanterns on the side of blocks. This isn't doing anything. However, you can place it on the bottom and on the top of blocks. So we'll just hang that up there. I think that looks lovely. Maybe I should replace the background with more cobblestone too. What do you think? I'll get around to it later. Alright. Now you remember in the last episode I mentioned that when you hit a monster with a sword, you'll get that little sweep attack. Now normally when you hit a monster with a sweep attack, it only does 1 damage. It does full damage to the monster you're actually attacking, but any other monsters caught in the sweep will only take 1 damage. But the sweeping edge enchantment will increase that damage. So if we can get, say, a bunch of zombies all chasing us at once, and we hit them with a sweep attack, that'll damage all of them for a lot of damage. So sweeping edge it's a pretty cool enchantment. We'll probably be getting some other interesting enchantments once we start enchanting our items directly instead of doing Anvil. And wait. Yeah, this is working out pretty great. Oh, here's 2 zombies, so see I hit them both with the sweep attack there? That's a creeper. Oh no. Alright, the sweeper. There, the creeper. Alright, let's take our multi-shot crossbow. There we go. Don't come any closer. Now that is a cool crossbow. Ah. So very fun enchantments. You know what? I think in this episode I'll also go into a little more detail about all the different monsters. Now zombies are probably the most basic and easy to understand. They just walk up and they attack you, but they do have a couple abilities that separate them from other monsters. They can see way farther than most monsters. Like that skeleton, he can't see me from here, but if that was a zombie, he could definitely see me from here, and he would be walking towards me. So they can see about 40 blocks, while I think other monsters can only see about 16. Spiders are... They don't really have much health. They're the fastest monster in the game. They're, they're not very... there's not really much interesting about spiders, but they do... but they do have... whenever a spider spawns, there's a 1 in 100 chance that it's going to spawn with a skeleton riding it. They're very rare. I've only seen 1 or 2 my whole time playing Minecraft, but and that's what's called a spider jockey. Is a skeleton riding a spider, because it's got the skeleton shooting at you, but spiders are much faster, so they will hunt you down remorselessly. Let's see what else we can find to kill. The skeletons, you pretty much already know everything about skeletons. They'll jump around and shoot at you. There's a couple rare monsters that I don't find any other. Because you've got the 4 basic ones. You know, zombie, spider, skeleton, and creeper. Creepers... Oh! I didn't see that. Oh, yep. That's what they do. You already know that, but the best way to deal with them is with a ranged weapon, a crossbow, because you don't want to get close to them. Oh, I'm gonna have to fill these up. This looks so ugly. They're ruining my nice landscape. Oh, that's a husk. It's a version of the zombie that only spawns in the deserts. Must have wandered over from that desert right over there. Husks, well, I don't like getting hit, but just for the purpose of this demonstration, I'll let this guy smack me. Now you see up in the corner there, I've got a little status effect icon. This has made me hungry. You can see, and my hunger will degrade after I get hit by a husk. Well, it didn't just now, but that was because I just ate. Ow. Husks also don't burn in the sunlight like zombies and skeletons do. Let's head out in the desert and see what we can find. A couple more spiders. This sleeping edge is real nice. Oh no, that's a baby zombie. They're just like regular zombies, except they're very fast. And they're, by themselves, they're not too awful to deal with. But if one spawns next to a bunch of zombies, or sometimes you'll even get 2 or 3 baby zombies at the same time, they can be absolutely terrifying. Oh, there goes my shield. So I have, yeah, I can make another shield right here. Shield, there we go. Oh, and another thing I should mention, you can press F and the item in your hand will be switched to your icon. You know what? If you can, one fun little thing, if you can reduce a creeper to to very little of its health, and it gets hit by it gets hit and killed by a skeleton's arrow, either by accident or because you lined them up on purpose, it will drop a fun little item called a music disc. You can take a jukebox and play the music disc in it. No one really knows why that happens, but it's a fun little item you can collect. It's fun to get all of them. Whew, there we go. That's given us 2 more levels. Ooh, our armor's taking a beating now. See if there's any husks left out in the desert. I guess they all despawned. Well, maybe there's still a creeper or 2 left though. Well, that's a shame. I didn't find any of the more uncommon monsters that sometimes spawn, like the Enderman. We saw a couple of those in the first episode, I think. They spawned over in that desert, but we just went back in our house. And Endermen are very tall purple monsters that they're tall black monsters with purple eyes. And they actually won't attack you on sight. They're very neutral. They'll simply live and let live unless you attack them, or unless you stare at them. They do not like being looked at. They're also very difficult to kill. They have a lot more health and they can teleport around. So it's generally best to just avoid eye contact with them so they don't attack you. And the last monster, I believe, that just spawns regularly, though it's pretty rare, is the witch. And the witch is a nasty old hag that will throw potions at you. And poison you and slow you down, and she'll drink potions to heal herself. Witches are very difficult monsters to fight, and they're pretty rare, but they sometimes drop potion ingredients if you kill them. And we aren't quite capable of doing potions yet, but we'll be getting to that in the future episode. Potions are really fun. There we go. Alright, well, I believe that's it for today. We've got our smithy, we've got our we went out and hunted some monsters, and I think that's about it. So I'll see you in the next episode. Have fun.